Square in Skopje, the Macedonian Square. And as you can see behind me, these buildings here reminds me very much of buildings that you can see in Rome and ancient Greek. And the reason is that because Macedonia is situated very close to Greece and situated in the Balkan, also close to Italy, and it all has a similar history to each other. Macedonia has a long history related to Greece, and actually the name of Macedonia is a wrong term because it has been turbulence with Greece practically the whole time. So when Macedonia, who was also part of Yugoslavia until 91, got independency, they were called Former Republic of Macedonia. But due to this region here consisting of the old Macedonian Empire, an old empire, due to Macedonia being part of the old Macedonian Empire, this region here consists of 1/3 of that former empire. So from that time until 2019 it was called Former Republic of Macedonia. After 2019 it changed its name to North Macedonia. This square here is the main square in Skopje and a must-see when you are traveling to this city. Behind me you can see the great statue of one of the biggest warriors of all time, known as Alexander the Great. He was the king of the ancient Greek part of Macedon for 13 years. So by the age of 30 he had conquered almost the whole Europe plus Western Asia, including Persia, all the way down to Egypt. So this region here were conquered by him before he reached the age of 30. So he's seen as one of the greatest warriors of all time. There has been some dispute where he actually comes from, but he's here in this square, and they say that he originates, and they say that he comes from this part of Macedon, which has been also disputed, which there has been some dispute if it belongs to Greece or North Macedonia. So today's North Macedonia, also formerly known as the Former Republic of Macedonia, became an independent state in 1991. They declared independence from Yugoslavia at that time quite peacefully compared to the other countries that were part of that republic. Since then, they also joined big alliances like UN, and they are also, like UN and other economic alliances, they have also applied for membership in EU and NATO. Their industry is basically based on the same as Kosovo. You have minerals, and in the latest days are the booming of tourism. North Macedonia in general is yet an unexplored country for many travelers. They don't visit these countries because it's relatively landlocked. It's bordering with Bulgaria, Kosovo, Serbia, Albania and Greece in the south, and there has been some disputes with Greece previously, especially when it comes to the name and also the land region, as Greece means that North Macedonia is not allowed to be called anything related to Macedonia, as it was the former Greek Empire owning that name, kind of. Anyway, these places here that we have visited so far are all situated in the main square, which is the most essential place you should see in Macedonia. you also have a lot of cool constructions, some unfinished constructions over there, and you have this old Illyrian trace Greek heritage on the other side of the bridge that we are gonna explore soon. Pretty cool to be in the main square of Skopje. Skopje, the largest city in Macedonia, approximately 2 million inhabitants here, and the economical center of this republic, or this country of North Macedonia. So in order to get here, you can of course fly in with the airline. You can also take a bus. We took a bus from Kosovo, Pristina, pretty decent price. It costed 12.5 euro, which is very decent. They use North Macedonian dinari here. Bit slightly more expensive price than Kosovo, but very cheap anyway. Many stores have card machines, and we're gonna go for a eating now. Behind me, you have quite a lot of restaurants in the main square, and you have these cool bridges that you can cross. For instance, the one you see over there, with that ancient trace Illyrian Greek architecture. The city is full of those constructions and those ancient sites. You also have all these statues that you can see from when you visit Greece, Italy, and this part of the world. So this city here can remind pretty much of one of those cities you will find in Italy. Skopje has a long history. It was under Ottoman rule for 500 years, so it has a lot of heritage from the Ottomans, along Greece heritage, trace, Illyrians, and the old ancient empires. North Macedonia is situated in a seismic activity, which means that earthquake might happen. In 1963, Skopje was a victim of a big earthquake. So just be aware of that. During summertime, it's relatively dry here because of the flat landscape. You see the mountains here as well, but it's relatively flat compared to other countries in the same region. So it can become very dry. The air is relatively bad. You feel this constant dust from the city, because I feel it now, that the throat is constantly tickling from the dust. So public transportation in Kosovo is a bit complicated because there are no Uber or other apps that you might be used to from before. So what you can do, we had to ask some staff at the restaurant and at our hotel
to give us some tips on how to book our taxis. Tomorrow morning we take a taxi to the airport, and you can use, there is a few companies you can use. It's a company called Blue Taxi or Online Taxi that you can use to book your taxi wherever you go in the country, at least in Pristina. These companies are supposed to be relatively reliable, but we are not sure yet because we are waiting to see if they are coming to pick us up tomorrow in order to go to the airport. But at least these were the tips we got from the locals that we asked previously today. So anyway, this wraps up our Kosovo and North Macedonia stay. It was a very interesting stay. Kosovo is definitely worth the visit. It has a very decent price if you just want to enjoy restaurants, cafes, or just want to enjoy the local vibes. These two countries here are definitely recommendable. It's direct flight from most big cities in Europe, at least most of the capitals, so it's relatively easy to get here from Europe.
We managed to arrive to the airport in Pristina. It costed 15 euro. In Kosovo, even though you order Americano, they make the coffee very strong. It's more a long coffee, so I don't know if they understand the concept of Americano. Maybe because they are very inspired by European and Turkish standard, so just be aware of that. So the coffee here is not my favorite. This one here in the airport, I asked for Americano, but it's more double espresso, so just be aware of that. Alright guys, so we finally arrived to Oslo. It's the month of May and the weather is amazing. It was such an interesting trip. We experienced a lot. The flight time yesterday was pretty long, but we arrived to the end. So see you guys next time.